In this video, you will learn all about Flynn, so that after you are done watching this entire video, you will know exactly what to do with his build and who to bring in his team. There is a lot of questions surrounding Flynns, mainly whether or not he is viable without Inefa. But rest assured, I'll go over this in the video. So I was able to try out Flynns early and tried out a variety of different team comps and weapons to test out his damage potential. And oh boy, playing him was definitely the most fun I had in Genshin. All the testings were done in a Luna I Creator experience server, so things are still subjected to change. Flins is an on-field main DPS character that focuses on his burst to maximize his damage. Being from Nocrai and the wielder of the miHoYo, Flins converts all party members' electro charge reaction to lunar charge reaction. When using Flins' elemental skill, he switches to his manifest flame form, which allows him to infuse his normal and charge attacks to electro that cannot be overridden by other elemental infusions, while also increasing his interruption resistance. During the manifest flame form, Flins' elemental skill is replaced with a special elemental skill called Northland Spear Storm, which deals AoE electro damage when used and causes his normal elemental burst to be replaced with a special elemental burst Thunderous Symphony. To put it in simpler terms, Flins basically has two elemental skills and two elemental bursts, the big burst and the mini burst. The first elemental skill infuses his attacks with electro, and during this state, he can press his elemental skill again to deal AoE electro damage, which also changes his big burst to mini burst. Flins' big burst uses 80 elemental energy, while his mini burst only consumes 30 energy. So you will generally use his mini burst as it contributes to most of Flins' damage in his rotations. You can start his rotation with his big burst if you have enough energy recharge, which is also viable as well. The most important aspect for Flins is his team comp with the moon sign system. Because just being at Ascendant Gleam, lunar charge reactions triggered by Flins will deal an additional 20% damage. This means you need to pair Flins up with another Nocrai character to unlock his full potential, as you will see later in the video. His playstyle might seem confusing at first, but to break it down simpler, you open with elemental skill, E, to switch form, and then cycle E and normal attacks while weaving in reduced cost Qs, which is the mini burst. But don't worry, if you still don't get it after my explanation, just watching Flins in action hopefully will clear up some things. So my Flins as he currently sits is at level 90. I'm using a fairly free-to-play weapon option for Flins with Prospector's Shovel, which is the not-cry craftable weapon. Artifact-wise, I'm using the Knights of Disguise's Unveiling, which with 4 piece, you'll be able to increase a lot of damage for Flins, and more importantly, increase crit rate by either 15% when the party's moonsight is Nascent Gleam, or 30% when the party is in Ascendant Gleam. So it's pretty important to play Flins with another Nocrai character in your team. But don't worry, if you don't have enough, I have some alternative options for you as well. Talent-wise, Burst is at level 9, Skill is also at level 9. His normal attack doesn't really help that much unless you want to deal more physical damage. But with Flins being mostly a burst-focused DPS character, you only need to level up normal attack if you really want. And it's completely optional. So my overall stats are looking pretty good, and since I'll be playing Flins with another Nocrai character in my team, his crit rate with the moon sign being Ascendant Gleam is around 81.3 essentially. And for energy, I would aim for around 120 to 140%, so I'll be able to burst every rotation as well. For Flins' team, there are a lot of options, both free to play and more of a premium team. So I'll definitely be trying all of these teams out to demonstrate all of their uses and showcase their strengths and weaknesses for both free to play players and players with more 5 stars to use. Yeah, let's start out with the rather free to play team. We have Aron, Aino, and Sucrose in his team. Aino is particularly important because of the Ascendant Gleam Moonsign buff that we'll get. And the reason why we generally want another Nocrai character in our team is because with the Moonsign being Ascendant Gleam, Lunar Charge reaction triggered by Flins will deal additional 20% damage. So it's overall more damage as well. Alright, let's see if these Wild Hunt enemies can last the whole rotation for me. In case you didn't know, Flins also has 2 bursts. And generally you'll be able to use it twice per rotation as well. Okay, I missed that crit rate over there, which is a little bit unfortunate, but Flins' playstyle is also just very fast-paced as well, which I really like. And being able to burst twice every rotation is really nice. So the strongest free-to-play team, in my opinion, for Flins without Inefa is probably going to be the Aron, Aino, and Sucrose team. This team, even though it has a lot of offensive powers, I'll demonstrate against the Radiant Moonfly to you, and you guys can probably see the issue with it. So one burst, I did half of the HP already, but yeah, as you can see, Flynn just kind of died because I don't really have a healer in this team. So while this team's damage is very strong, it also has its glaring weakness, which is being a very glass cannon. But if everything goes right, and assuming you don't really take damage at all, or if you're just very good at dodging the enemy's attacks, then you can pretty much just be able to get out of the fight, not really harmed, and basically finish the boss off very quickly as well. Alright, let's see if I can finish the Dorito off as well with one burst. Yeah, damage is definitely very high. I'm doing like around 200k pretty easily with my special burst. And there's also 2 instants of damage as well. Alright, let's try my damage as well. Wow. With one kind of burst attack, the enemy is already like just dead. I already cleared this domain in 22 seconds. So another similar team I want to try out with Flins is, instead of Sucrose, we'll be sacrificing some of our damage potential with Lanyan. She is also an animal character that I can also use the TTDS with. Let me just switch the weapon to the Throwing Tails because this will be able to buff Flyn's attacks. So I'm kind of curious on how this team will play out because right now I'm just sacrificing some of my damage. But hopefully it won't be that bad since I'll be having a shield this time. The damage just seems like it's still doing around the same. I'm still able to finish off the boss with 2 bursts. Alright, we're gonna try out the Knuckle Duckle boss and see how this team will perform. This boss definitely feels a little bit more tankier than the Radiant Moonfly, so it's definitely gonna be a little bit more challenging. But with me being able to generally shield myself with Lanyan, I think I'm still pretty safe. This team definitely feel like I do a little bit less damage though, but it's generally still pretty strong. And I guess with this boss being a little bit more tankier, I can demonstrate more rotations. So yeah, basically I was able to finish the boss in 2 rotations this time. And also it didn't really take that much damage because of Lanyan's shield. But even without constellations, I know it's actually still doing a pretty good job, and she's getting her burst back like every rotation. Alright, we got some Abyss Mages as well, which is nice because they have a shield that I can also kind of demonstrate just how strong my burst is for Flins. Okay, let me just... Oh. Do you mind? I don't think I can even do anything to this. Okay, yeah. Well, I guess this is only Flint's weakness. We have this Electro Horse. Alright, the next team I want to try out is an Inefa team. So for those of you that actually wish for an Inefa, she pairs really well with Flint's because of the Ascendant Moongleam with 2 Knockout characters in the party. And with that, we can also free up our Hydro slot from Ino, so we can also use Yelan for stronger sub DPS as well. So I'm curious to see how this team will perform. Alright, so let's get Yelan's burst up. Inefa also has a shield, so based on that, we can go back to using Sucrose as well. Alright, damage-wise, I'm actually doing pretty good. I think I missed my crit though, which is a little bit unfortunate, but let's go burst again. Alright. Yeah, that's some nice damage. Basically, doing another rotation. How does Articuno actually you want to bring healers here? I'm still like finishing off the boss pretty quickly though. Making it so I don't really need the healer if I don't really want to bring one, because I basically can kill Articuno before she gets to me, which is nice. Alright, see? First, I'm doing around 130k and 190k with a second burst hit. I'm also losing a little bit of HP due to Bond of Life, but as you can see, we don't really need to worry because the boss fight is already over. If you play Genshin long enough and are lucky enough to actually get a PJWS, you can also equip this as a 5-star option for Flins if you're not planning on pulling for his best in slot signature weapon. So let's try this weapon out and see how much damage you'll be able to do. His crit rate is actually going to be 100% now, so we won't be missing a crit with our artifact set. So let's just try this out and see how it'll go. This time I'll also be fighting Nathlon bosses, since they'll be a little bit more tankier for Flins. Damage-wise, I'm doing around 140k plus 200k. Wow. See if we can defeat the boss before it ran away. Oh, we did. Damage-wise, I think this is definitely one of the best Flins team, for sure. Rotations are also very easy to execute, and damage equally as easy to deal. I can basically finish all the bosses without them starting the special mechanics in Nathlon. Alright, let's try the giant QQ sword boss. So far, I am 2 for 2 with Nathlon bosses not being able to run away. So let's see if we'll add on to the... Oh, yep. Definitely adding that to the tally. I don't even need to do the second burst as well. I don't think this Yamka sword boss has any special runaway mechanics, but let's just see if we can kill it before it does its fireball spit attack. Yeah, if you're someone like me that also has this 5-star weapon sitting in your inventory, then this is definitely a good option. Oh, will this count? We killed it before it absorbed it, so I'll count that as a win. Okay, so the next thing I want to try is Flins' narwhal test. For a lot of characters, DPS especially, I like to take them to the narwhal to see if I'm able to defeat the narwhal before it starts the second phase. So with Flins, let's see if he'll pass. If he's able to pass, then he's definitely going to be, like, in my eyes, an OP character. I think with Flins' very fast-paced rotations, though, I should be good. Whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't mean to do that much damage. But, okay then, that's actually pretty insane. I almost messed up, though, because I didn't mean to, like, do that. I'm actually not joking. But the boss is running away, which might not be as good. But I think I'm fine. Even though I kind of messed up my rotations, I can comfortably defeat the boss as well. Let's finally give Flins the blood-soaked ruins. And as you can see, this is his best in slot. The weapon crit rate is actually the same as PJWS as well. So I probably won't be having any increase in crit rates. So that's good to know. I'm also going to give the local legend in Fontaine some love as well, because I don't want to be biased or anything. So every region deserves to get a Flins treatment. Wow, okay. That's a little chunk of damage gone from the boss. Cool. He never showed it surprisingly still very strong, because I didn't really take that much damage, so that's good. Get my burst back up. Get my iframes, so I'm ignoring the boss's mechanics. Wow, okay. I still haven't taken damage. I don't want to jinx myself, but like, wow. The boss is kind of just lying down permanently. Okay, okay, okay. I ran out of shield, so that was kind of dangerous. I think this should be good. Wow. I got an artifact as well. Honestly, one of the best things with Flins, though, is that you don't really need to use contested supports. Meaning that Flins' support characters that you generally use are pretty rarely used. Okay, let me finish the boss with style as well. Oh, never mind. It's already dead. But yeah, like I was saying, the supports that you use for Flins are generally not used in a lot of teams, so it kind of frees up a lot of team slots for Flins in general. And I think as I was talking, I kind of just missed my whole burst. There we go. After trying out a lot of teams, let me go back to the more free-to-play option. I will go use the Prospector's Shovel again, since this weapon is generally his most free-to-play option. Other 4-star options are Ballad and Deathmatch, and even Favonius, but I'll use this weapon as like a default because I think with 4-star Polearm, this works really well with Flins. And it's finally time to challenge the Spiral Abyss as well. I also want to try more of a free-to-play option as well for Flins, because as we know, Flins is very, very strong with Inefa together, but I just want to see if he'll be able to clear Abyss without Nefa. So for floor 11, let me bring more of a glass cannon team. Let's get some elemental skill and see how this team will go. There's a squid enemy here. Let me see my damage. 150k plus 200k. That did around half already, so that's good. Wait, what? Oh, there's only one enemy? Well, hopefully the second chamber's enemies have a better fight in them. Pretty nice damage. Oh, there's an Electro Wayob? Okay. Well, since it sucked all my burst away, I'm kind of just hard countered by it. Wow. But I still managed to defeat it though. Cool. Even though it sucked my burst away, it still has no match for me. Alright, final chamber. Perfect. We're dealing with some Wild Hunt enemies as well. Flynn is actually pretty good against him. Like his 2-hit burst is able to basically just clean out the 2 HP bar that the enemies essentially have. That's good to know. Got some Fatui machines as well. I don't know if the enemies had electro resistance or not because they're purple, but it seems like they still get easily dealt with. Alright, let's see how Flins will fare against these bosses here. I am bringing Cookie though because I want to have a potential shield. So hopefully this doesn't really affect my damage too much. I'm still able to like deal half of the boss's HP already though with just one hit, one rotation. So I'm very impressed. Especially with a purely free-to-play build. Alright, since the boss does have like a revive mechanic, let's just try to finish off his HP as fast as possible and not let him absorb little zombies to heal. Okay. I'm not sure if it's doing it or not, but let's finish him off real quick. Okay, my burst. Wow, that was intentional. What do we have here? Another Wild Hunt enemy. Well, we all know that Flynn is a Wild Hunt hunter, so shouldn't be that much of a problem, especially with Cookie as a healer in our team. Yeah, damage-wise, we're still doing pretty good. Maybe around 200k. Nice, that's one down. Still have one more. Alright, so far so good. These enemies are definitely more tanky though, so kind of challenging to fight. But I'm still able to keep on going with my rotation very smoothly as well. So it's not really an issue for us. Yeah. Flynn's rotation is just very, very smooth and easy to play. Wow, it's only the final chamber? That was quick. So we have list for Fatui to fight. Interesting. Hopefully my burst can kind of cheese the boss's mechanics a little bit. Avoid electro attacks. Alright, that was one rotation already. We did some decent damage as well, so that's good. Let's start another rotation when the boss is already down. We actually do like more damage, I believe. Yeah, I'm seeing some big numbers. 200k plus 270. I think one more rotation should be enough. Maybe two. Wow, 300k as well. It's actually pretty strong. I'm genuinely impressed. I bet this was pretty easy with Flins. Flins is definitely a character I'm looking forward to playing. His unique playstyle and potential for future releasing characters also seems promising. Being able to deal insane amounts of damage with a free-to-play team and build makes him a must-pull DPS for me. paired up with an easy playstyle, he's definitely a character I'm looking forward to the most. Let me know in the comments on who you plan to build Flins with. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.